Welcome to the show, everybody. Senator Elizabeth Warren will join us later and tell us whether she believes Trump or Musk are really in charge. Looking forward to that conversation. 2025 has barely begun, and we are already witnessing a disturbing trend. Plane crashes, and not just minor incidents, catastrophic, deadly collisions that are raising serious questions about the state of air safety in the United States. Plane crashes that, while they pile up, the Trump administration pushes to cut funding for the very agencies tasked with keeping our skies safe. So let me tell you the incidents that we've seen kind of in reverse chronological order. The most recent one yesterday. Yesterday, two more planes collided midair at Marana Regional Airport in Arizona. Two people are dead. The planes involved are a Lancair 3600 and a Cessna 172. The Lancair is a sort of high-performance kit plane, destroyed. The Cessna miraculously remained intact. Investigation is ongoing, can take months, if not years, to get answers. 9 days earlier, February 10th, two aircraft, Gulfstream G200 and a Learjet 35, collided at Scottsdale Airport. One person died, at least three others injured. The Bering Air Flight 445 crash on February 6th, the Cessna 208B Grand Caravan went down over the Norton Sound in Alaska. Everybody on board, 10 people killed, 10 lives lost in an instant. That was a scheduled domestic flight. It wasn't an experimental flight. It wasn't a private plane operation. And then there's the MedJets Flight 056 crash. That was January 31. A Learjet 55 operated by Jet Rescue Air Ambulance crashed in a Philly neighborhood shortly after taking off. Everybody there died, including the patient being transported and her mother. And then, of course, I think we all know about the Potomac River incident on January 29th, where an American Airlines jet and a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter collided near DCA. Everybody on board, both aircraft killed. Now, here is where it gets infuriating, because while these crashes are happening at an alarming frequency, the Trump administration is both blaming Biden and actively working to cut funding for the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, and for ATC, air traffic control. The same agencies responsible for ensuring, if not guaranteeing, the safety of our skies are facing budget cuts under President Trump. Trump's transportation secretary, meanwhile, seems more focused on attending sporting events and flying on Air Force One than on addressing the crisis. And in fact, when he was asked about these plane crashes, his response was, blame Biden, and also sometimes there are plane crashes.
But again, air crashes happen, but they were more under Biden than Donald Trump. But the point here is we want to get to a place where we have zero crashes. We don't want people to die in aircraft, which is why what I've done is focus on how do you upgrade the system. But Will, you look at what's happened, the airspace around DCA, that was allowed to stay open under the last administration. The inspections that were done of the aircraft that have crashed, that was done under the last administration. So it is rich that they would come at this administration for the mistakes that they've made and blame us for the crashes. We're going to fix what they refuse to fix over the course.
We'll fix it, but listen, sometimes planes crash, and if they do, it's never our fault. It's Joe Biden's fault. We're going to get in a moment to how now the new, as things are clearly not going swimmingly, they're retreating to blame Biden. The truth, of course, is that air travel is statistically one of the safest ways to get around. But the safety doesn't happen by magic. It doesn't happen by osmosis. It's the result of rigorous oversight, regulation, well-funded government agencies, highly trained professionals. When you start cutting funding to FAA and ATC, you're not just trimming the budget, you're gambling with people's lives. We're seeing it. It's a tragedy. I don't know how many more lives will be lost before they act. And if anything, we should be staffing up these agencies and giving them the regulatory teeth that will enable them to keep the skies safe, rather than saying cut, 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 fire and lay off. It's the wrong instinct. And isn't it always the wrong instinct with these people? Guys in my audience, I know you're tired of the chafing with traditional underwear. Our sponsor, Sheath, makes the most comfortable boxer briefs I've ever worn. If you're sick of the boxers that are too loose or the briefs that are too tight, Sheath is for you. Sheath underwear is designed with two special pouches in the front. Keeps everything separate in its own compartment with extra confidence that you will feel throughout the day, keeping things separate and comfortable, no more sticking and chafing. I was skeptical about the dual pouch, I admit it, but it is game changing. Everything stays where it is supposed to be, extra useful when working out at the gym. And even if you don't want to use the pouches, you don't have to. It is still the most comfortable pair of underwear I have ever owned. It will blow your mind how soft and stretchy these are, made with moisture wicking technology to keep you dry. If you were ready to take underwear comfort to a new place, a place you didn't even know it could go, head over to sheathunderwear.com/Pacman and get 20% off with the code Pacman. The link is in the description.